bobbity. Got him.
And welcome everybody to Ex-Mama Sports Alive Show.
Yeah, bibbidi bobbidi.
My name is Andrew Mario Valentine. Not my middle name. I hope you all are having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm just going to keep going in and out of accents. We are coming to you live, of course, from the Illinois Media School here in Lombard, Illinois. And I, of course, am joined with the voluptuous Italian man himself, Mr. Drew Gwillem, folks. Drew, how you doing, man?
That's me.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a day. It was a day as usual.
Absolutely. I understand.
And then just, one of those irritating little times where just you're trying to do something and something else has to just like crap all over it.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just like before like things are about to happen and stuff, I totally understand that, Drew. Believe me.
Yeah.
So,
but at least computer's up and running now.
Yes. That's the only thing that's running right now because
we're not a paperweight this week.
Not a paperweight this week. Our paperweight would happen to be right across from us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to.
Oh my God, the TV's
thank
still
you so much
not
to.
working.
You know what? I'm not even going to call out the brand because if we ever get a brand deal, I don't even want to disrespect. So, all right.
Other than that, there's football on tonight.
Yes.
I'm going to eat some good food and watch football.
Absolutely.
That's a positive.
Oh, yeah. And it's good, and it's looking like it's going to be some good football, too. So, and we talked about it, obviously, Bengals, Dolphins tonight, folks. Obviously, you took Dolphins, I took Bengals on this. So, see what this happens.
Waddle is playing.
Waddle is
Armstead's
playing. Tua is playing, from what we've heard. So, should be a very fun and interesting game. We'll see how it goes, but we're going to talk a little bit basketball first before we get into this college football at the very end. Drew, are you ready to do this, my friend?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Only the Bulls.
Absolutely. Only the Bulls on this one. There were others I wanted to talk about, but Kyrie and Ben Simmons have had enough airtime from us as it is. So let's talk about these Bulls.
We'll have plenty of time for Andrew to rant his way about them.
I got words, but I'm going to keep those words down for right now. Bulls officially have started their training camp. They had a great media day. Obviously, there was a lot that came out. It's nice that they're finally getting back into the preseason mode. Everybody was out there looking like they're having a fun time. But, of course, somebody was missing, and he did have something to say, and that was point guard Lonzo Ball. And, of course, as we know now, Lonzo Ball has had surgery on his knee, and it was sounding like things were going to be looking good for the beginning of the season. Well, now it is being reported, according to Lonzo Ball, that he apparently can't run or jump with this previous knee. And in fact, it even struggles for him. It's a struggle for him to even get up the stairs now. It hurts at that point. He has officially had his second surgery. He immediately had it after the press conference. He said it was like next day he was going to have it. It sounds like everything has gone well. The Bulls said everything looks good. Everything looks fine with the surgery. But there is still no timetable yet for his return. Obviously, this is, and he even had a quote saying, "This is something I've never dealt with. Even the doctors are surprised." Drew, obviously, hearing all of that is very disconcerting, not just as Bulls fans, but I think as sports fans in general. To hear that from a young athlete, 24 years old, is pretty perplexing and pretty shocking. What are your thoughts for hearing this from Lonzo Ball about his knee now going into a second surgery, and what do you think the outcome is going to be now from this? Do you even think we see Lonzo Ball at all this year?
Well, first hearing this news from him, then hearing from Billy Donovan, hearing that he's got to prepare himself to not have Lonzo Ball at all this year.
Rough.
Yeah. Damn it.
Yeah.
Damn it. It pisses me off. That sucks because you saw how this team was playing with Lonzo Ball in the lineup and what they could do with him there.
Absolutely.
And he was their leading 3-point scorer. Okay. He scored more points, 3-pointers than Zach LaVine.
Yeah.
Okay. He was killing it. He was he may not be the best player on the team, but he might be most important.
Yeah.
The guy that makes everything move, everything go.
He drives the bus.
Yes. And to not have him and hearing that it's that bad, like, okay, well, why is it taking this long then? How do you not know? I get it. They're all doing. Some people say it's kind of like the Scottie Pippen thing. I didn't want to F up his summer. Well, I don't think that's it.
No. This does not sound like that at all. When you're saying you can't get up the stairs the right way without it hurting, and you're saying that you can't run or jump on it, Scottie was has already confirmed for us. I just didn't want to mess up my summer.
Right.
This is a situation where I think it's like, okay, there could be something seriously wrong here.
Yeah, it sounded like he was progressing well, and then it just got to a point where it was like, well, it's not getting any better, so what do we do? It's very concerning. I'm concerned because, like I said, guy that makes everything move.
Yeah.
Driving the bus, and he's an important piece to this team. And hopefully, after hearing after the surgery, that there's optimism that he could make it back this season. We'll only be out a couple months, which would be awesome.
Yeah.
Give him a little time to rest, a little time to ramp it up, and then insert him into the lineup. Who knows, if it's only a couple months, Christmas, January.
That'd be nice.
That might be very optimistic, but
yeah.
Hearing that he might only be out a couple months, the season starts soon.
Right.
So could be. Just had the surgery. It's going to take a little time. We'll see how it goes, but it's going to be rough sledding without him there, and hopefully this guy can get back to what he was after the surgery.
Yeah, it obviously hearing from him about the pain and everything. I mean, I already said like this was certainly. It very much kind of like dropped the level of like confidence from here to like down to here, because I mean he is a valuable piece of this team when you consider the 3-point shooting, the defense that he provides, the ability that he has to be able to find the open man in the pass. He starts the action. He is, not in comparison, I would say, to that level, but he is our version of Chris Paul. He comes onto this team and he certainly helps to make the team that much better. Is he the focal point of the team? No, it seems to be DeMar DeRozan's your guy. You lead with him. Zach LaVine should be your, follow-up Robin to his Batman or whatever the case is. Vooch is still there. But if all four of those guys are out there, you can see there's something that clicks with them. There's something that hits. And then you add in, obviously, all these new pieces that we're going to get into here pretty soon. But when you consider that he kind of leads the point, he runs the show for them at the beginning, it really helps. And not only that, but it helps then you be able to feel out your bench. You don't have to commit right away to saying throwing out Io and Caruso right away. You can kind of use those guys in whatever kind of assets you want. You don't have to force them out there immediately. Now him being out, there's going to be a lot of things that are obviously going to be looked at, right? You're going to have to try and see which one of these guys right now can potentially manage the situation for point guard, which they've got a lot of guards. They've really loaded up the court this year with the backcourt. I mean, they've got a lot of guys they can really work with, and the list is pretty long. Ayo Dosunmu, Goran Dragic is a veteran. You've got Karlik Jones, who's an undrafted rookie. Dallin Terry, their first-round draft pick. Kobe White, we know, has played point guard. Caruso, of course.
We just don't want him to play point guard.
Yeah, but yes, yeah. Just not that. And then Javon Freeman Liberty, who is, I believe, Marcus Liberty's son, who is a legend of Chicago, for those who don't know, and a very good player at DePaul as well. But they have a list of these guys. But Drew, I ask you, of these guys that we've kind of just listed that are kind of on the roster as of this point right now, is there anybody on this list that obviously you can see kind of being the maybe surpriser that could help manage that point guard?
It's going to be Dragic.
Yeah.
He's a professional point guard. That's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a really good player throughout his career.
Yeah.
He's a little long in the tooth. He's older now, but they're not going to ask him to do a ton.
Right.
Guess who's going to be the athletic point guard they throw out there? Dosunmu.
Yeah.
When they need him.
Right.
He'll go out there and take care of things. So I think Dragic is going to be asked to do more now,
mm-hmm.
which we weren't hoping for.
Right.
But because of him being an older player. But
yeah.
This gives Dosunmu a chance to take that next step. This dude, he's ready to go.
Yeah.
He's ready to play. He's not taking anything for granted. He knows who was drafted ahead of him. He knows where he was drafted. So and this dude uses that as a chip on his shoulder, and he works. He works at his game. And I think this team altogether I think they're a close group
mm-hmm.
that has built some good chemistry over the last year and a half when most of these guys have gotten there.
Absolutely.
So I think adding Dragic into that is going to help things while Lonzo Ball is out.
Yeah, Dosunmu, I think, is going to be probably the favorite. You'll definitely see a lot of Caruso out there. There'll be that 1-2 punch on the 3-and-D type of stuff.
So like, I know what I want to see Dosunmu take that next step.
Right,
You know what you're getting out of Caruso.
Yeah, we know what kind of player he is.
Dragic to me is the guy that's going to come in and be more of a full-time point guard.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to be the guy that makes things run now.
Yeah. Listen, Dragic is he's an old dog, but he knows his tricks, right? He's a good passer.
Yeah.
He's still a very efficient three-point shooter. I know last year was not exactly a showing of that, but look, he was in a tough spot. That was a hard spot to be in when you're going from one team to the next, and you're not getting those open looks. They were trying to force shots to him, and what can you do with that? So I will say I'm interested to see if Dallin Terry can add something to this. We know he's a long, tall guy. He can play 4 positions on this team at this point. He's a very good long defender. He's worked on his 3-point shooting from what he said, so there's a lot there.
I think it's just tough to...
it's a lot to put on a rookie.
It's tough to expect much out of a player like Dallin Terry where he was drafted.
Yes.
As well as being a rookie.
Right, of course, yes. But I mean, look, this guy's going to probably play multiple positions throughout the year. I feel like he should probably just lock down on shooting guard, be that defender, be the backup, whatever the case is, with Kobe White. Help out Zach LaVine, give him a break, whatever the case is. I'm interested to see what he can do there. Obviously, though, there's always the rumor out there that they could be looking to maybe add a guard. And we've heard, obviously, there's the rumor of possibly adding Jordan Clarkson.
Yeah.
They have submitted the offer in. Utah, I guess, is still mulling it over. They've also, I guess, submitted an offer of the same with Kobe White, and I believe it was Derek Jones Jr. for another player as well. We'll get into him in a little bit here, too, when we talk about the forwards. But Jordan Clark, obviously, two-way guard. He played point guard, plays shooting guard, 6-man coming off the bench, very strong player. I think it's pretty obvious to say if the Bulls can get him, go for it.
Yeah,
he adds that element that you need to this team.
He's played in big time playoff games with the Utah Jazz.
Yep,
been a big part of that.
Absolutely.
So he's another good veteran to add to the backcourt that could help everyone else.
Certainly,
the top guys are one of the top guys, Lonzo Ball, is out.
Yeah, and I feel like he would be a perfect complementary piece to kind of add in there. He adds the 3-point shooting. Dosunmu gives you the 3-and-D technique. You got Alex Caruso. There's enough there that you can supplement what Lonzo gave you with what you have coming off the bench and then starting. If you bring in Clarkson, you might even get more because Clarkson can drop 20 points coming off the bench.
They need scoring, and that's a good way to get some.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of my guys, and a friend of mine too, actually asked me on Facebook. He said, "What about getting Jordan Clarkson and then adding Carmelo to the team?" I'm all for adding Melo
for veteran minimum.
Yeah, by all means,
I'm fine. Yeah, come in and shoot a few threes. He's gonna stand in a spot, basically.
Stay there in the corner, hit your 3, put your 3 up, and let's go. Let's get rolling. Because right now the forwards for the Bulls, obviously, it's touch and go. There's a lot here. What they still have to explore. Obviously, they added Antetokounmpo, Kostas.
Yeah,
sorry, folks.
Yeah.
But this group still feels pretty good. I mean, you've got Patrick Williams, who looks like he's in pretty good shape. You have Justin Lewis, who I think is going to get another chance to kind of show what he can do. Simonovic is now going to be a part of the thing, and now he's a forward center. And obviously the center situation, we got Drummond, Bradley still on this team. Sure, okay, fine.
Oh, boy.
And obviously Vooch is still here as well, and the hope is that Vooch, which he looks like he's been doing a little bit of working out. He looks like he's been, and he and Simonovic have said they've been kind of working together. So my question, I guess, to you, Drew, is for the forwards, with what we're seeing right now from these guys, what do you feel like are going to be the expectations for these guys kind of going into it? Because we know that last year it was tough with the defense. They had nobody really to manage that stuff. What you see right now from the forwards, do you think there's enough there for the Bulls to be able to manage those, inside the post attacks that we get from Giannis and Karl Anthony Towns and guys of those natures, or Joel Embiid?
No.
Okay.
They brought Drummond in to be that down low player. Mm-hmm. I still don't think Drummond's the guy, a guy that's going to be the one to stop them.
Yeah.
He's not. It's not going to happen. I mean, he may do well some nights and slow him down some, but I still don't see it there.
Yeah.
Okay. DeRozan, he had a career year last year. Okay. You can't expect you have to expect some regression there.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. That does not mean one bit that he's going to have a bad season.
No.
Just because it was a career year.
Right. People have seen your game. They're going to know how to attack you now.
Well, not only that, he's still playing his game.
Yeah.
I saw something, DeRozan saying that he felt like he was, not invisible, but not quite even there. He didn't feel like he was even there in San Antonio. Whereas he came to the Bulls and he feels revitalized and energized.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's the thing. Like with Pop, he's like, I want the team to play. Where the Chicago is kind of like, look, you shine. We need you to shine. They needed him to shine, especially last season, more than ever.
So I still think he's going to put he plays hard all the time.
Absolutely.
He puts everything out there. He's that kind of player. Mm-hmm. Leaves it all out on the court, game after game. I have no question he's going to do exactly the same thing. I just don't expect another career year.
Right. It's going to be hard to repeat again.
Patrick Williams, it's tough for a guy who you draft high. Mm-hmm. You expect big things from, try to develop, gets hurt last year.
Yeah.
You expected him to take a jump to see that. Well, guess what? We saw some of that when he came back.
Yeah.
In spots.
Absolutely.
Now you healthy, had another season, full training camp, all that stuff. You got to take off.
You have to do it consistently.
You have to take off. You have to be consistent with it. And we need to see why you were the 4th pick in the draft.
Absolutely.
And why they love you so much.
Yeah.
And he has the talent to do it.
Certainly.
He's shown flashes. If he can be consistent with that, we got something good there. Both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Now, I heard Billy Donovan say something about Vucevic the other day, which was very interesting to me. Billy said, so coming from Orlando, he was always the focal point of the offense. He was always the guy that they're going to. He's always the guy that's why he scored so many points.
They never had anybody to really support him, so he was the go-to guy.
And that was his whole career.
Yeah.
Okay. Up until he came to the Bulls, where they're asking him to, he's not that player. He has to adjust his role. And what Billy was saying was, it's not necessarily easy to just come from a team where you were the guy, the focal point all the time, night after night after night, and then come into a team and play a complementary role.
Yeah.
So there's needed to be some adjustments there. That's adjustments with his shooting, adjustments with how we play somewhat. And it was one full season, okay, minus trade deadline. They got him previously, okay? So he's had one full season to try and play in that role. We weren't happy with how he played.
Of course.
Guess what? I really don't believe Vooch is going to have that poor of a three-point shooting season this year.
Yeah.
Again, regression in a positive way.
Yeah.
I think that's coming for Vooch as well. And another season of, like Billy was saying, getting used to that complimentary role. I think we're going to get a much better Vooch this year.
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. The only thing that's worrying me about, obviously, is with Patrick Williams, like you said, the consistency. You have to be there. You have to show up. That's my one thing. DeRozan, not worried about. Vooch, I think, will have not the best season. I'm not, 20-10. I don't know if that's ever going to happen again with what you saw in Orlando. Like you said, it's a focal point. Now you're taking more of a reserve role. You're maybe 3rd or 4th best player on this team, depending when Lonzo's out there or not. So I think it's okay to say, though, you don't have to score all the points. You have to get all the rebounds. This is why you brought in a guy like Andre Drummond. This is why you bring in a guy like Kostas Antetokounmpo, who's a tall guy, slender, a little bit small, yes, for a forward, but he can still kind of get in there and fight for the rebounds. He's tall enough. He's got long arms. Simonovic, I think, is a guy that you'll start taking some steps. He's looked really good.
See what he can be too.
Absolutely. I mean, if he's been working with Vooch, you have to assume, I think, that his game may not reflect it, but let's say it can at least complement it. When you play with a guy and practice with a guy, I think you get a sense of where you're at with a player like that on the court. So I'm really interested, though, to hear about what the other trade rumor was at them as well. For those who don't know, Phoenix is currently putting a man on the bench right now because they're potentially going to be trading for him. Well, the Bulls have apparently put themselves on the offer for Jay Crowder, potentially also trying to see if they can land Jay Crowder as well. It's not just a one or the other deal with him and Jordan Clarkson. It's actually a, can we get one or the other, or can we get both thing? Which I love hearing that, because Jay Crowder is a guy that it seems anywhere he's gone, he has made a difference. Be it Boston, Dallas, Phoenix, he has been that defensive forward that can shoot threes, hit big shots.
He will get in people's face too.
He does not back down.
Toughness is something that this team needs down low.
Absolutely.
And he can fill that role as well.
Absolutely. So if the Bulls can get him, that'd be great. The guy I'm most intrigued for, I'm really still intrigued on Justin Lewis. The size is there. The playing ability is there. I think he needs a little bit more work maybe with the G League. I don't think he's going to make the roster right away. But this is a guy that I think another year there, work with him, and I think you can bring him up. I think there's potential there for this guy to really emerge as one of those surprise picks. You know, he's 6'9", 235.
Is that the boy from Marquette?
That's the boy from Marquette.
Yeah, he was playing well until he got hurt.
Absolutely.
And
so
I believe he's out for the season.
Yeah. So I mean, if you can work with him a little bit more,
I was excited to see him come up.
Yeah.
And play.
Absolutely.
But
you know,
it's a shame.
I know he's out, but I'm only saying that I think he can still be a surprise, even nevertheless. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. I know, but because he excites me. Honestly, I like his style. They liked
what they saw.
He's a tough kid. He doesn't back down. He gets good buckets. He has a nice 3-point shot. He's an every level kind of player. You just need to stay healthy, and you just need to get him out there and see what he can do. I think he can be a great player. But look,
hey, they found some young players that I think could be something.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
And listen, they still have Javonte Green.
Yeah.
Malcolm Hill is a guy that, by the way, played with Dosunmu, for those who don't know. He's a guard forward that played at U of I with him. They have a meshing relationship, so if they play coming off the bench together, I believe Io said it was like cake and ice cream. We just go together so easily. Weird analogy, but I'll take it, man. That's tasty stuff. I like
I'd
that.
rather have brownies and ice cream.
Brownies and ice creams is good, too. And I'm talking about food, now I'm getting hungry, so... but look, Bulls will be obviously very interesting. They got a lot of stuff they still got to work on. They got a lot of season to go. We're going to follow them as they go along. So I'm just happy that they're starting to get back into it. There's a lot of NBA news that we can certainly that we should have covered, but we will get to that eventually at a nearer time. So just glad the Bulls are back, because baseball's been hard to watch, and football in Chicago has not been easier to watch. So I hope the Bulls can give us the good product that we know they can. All right, well, we're not doing the break. We're going straight into it, Drew. We are doing college football. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We are talking to college football. And real quick, we'll do a real quick recap on this, just real quick. Because
you actually want to talk about winners, huh? Let's talk about winners today.
I am talking about winners.
Okay.
They're on that list, are they not?
Oh.
Taking a look at the week back, there's obviously a lot of games on here. Very fun and interesting games. A lot of game changers in the top 25 as well. Drew, right off the bat, give me a couple of the games off this list that you obviously really kind of jumped out to you.
I mean, Michigan, I was there, so I got a front row seat to what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Maryland's offense looks really like they're good. They're a good team.
Yeah.
So, and defense is getting better. They played well there. I want to see more out of. I want to see JJ not miss some of those deep open passes.
Yeah.
So, see some better out of him. Clemson Wake Forest game.
Thank you, DJ. Thank you.
I know you're probably.
I do. I needed that. I need that to help my credibility, because man, you are killing me right now. But he's putting himself back in that conversation.
How about Kansas?
I had to put I was considering who would be that 10th team I put in there. I got to put Kansas in there.
Yeah.
They're rolling. I don't know what.
They're putting up points.
They're putting up points. They're
beat
playing
Oklahoma.
good defense. God, they are.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. In Kansas State, by the way, too. The state of Kansas is celebrating right now. Adrian Martinez, by the way, Nebraska's probably kicking themselves in the butt right now. I mean, maybe Scott Frost would have kept his job. Ouch. I got to say,
for a basketball state, really.
Yeah.
Their football teams are playing pretty well.
I don't think you can call them just basketball schools anymore to this point.
Not right now.
Not right now. Same thing with Kentucky. Obviously, they're another one. Florida, man. Jeez, you're going through the growing pains. I'll say this: that kid Hendon Hooker that plays quarterback for Tennessee is amazing. That kid he is the real deal.
Tennessee's pretty good.
They're pretty good. They're in the top 10 right now. They're playing like a top 10 team. USC escapes by the skin of their teeth, and Texas, you screwed me, man. You screwed me. I could have had a great parlay, but because you rolled you had to fall down the hill first. Everything else did as well. So overall, it was a good week. I mean, it was fun football. I think it was a good week of football. Certainly is going to change the top 25. We'll get into that eventually here in the near future. But Drew, it is time for the college football pick six. Are you ready to do this, my man?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, my friends. All right, so the college football pick six, ladies and gentlemen, pick the top 6 games of the week. There was actually a lot more than 6 games on this one because we're limited on time. We're just going to run through these real quick. So first game we've got undefeated Washington at 15 against UCLA. 2.5 points to Washington, and it is 64.5 for the over-under. Drew, who are you picking on this one, man?
I'm going to take Washington. Washington by 3, and we're going to go under.
Okay, all right. I got to take Washington on it, too. That kid Penix Jr. transferred from Indiana, and he looks like he only got better going to Washington. Kids right now actually 30-1 for Heisman as well. So take that if you want, I guess. But I'm gonna say Washington by 9. A little bit of a blowout on UCLA. I don't like Chip Kelly, honestly. I don't like him. I don't think he's a good coach. I'll say it hits the under because I don't think UCLA is going to score that many points. Right. But it should be a fun game nevertheless. Next, we've got Kentucky 7 against 14 Ole Miss. Ole Miss is the favorite in this one by a full touchdown. Their over-unders at 53.5. Drew, who are you picking for this one, man?
I'm going to take Kentucky. I think they have one of those quarterbacks that look supposed to be high up in the draft.
He's good.
He's a good player.
He's good.
It's been a little hot and cold at times, but
he shows up at the right moment.
And that's why they're 4-0.
Yep.
So I'm going to take Kentucky. I'm going to take them by a touchdown.
Okay.
And I think they could put some points here. I'm going to take the over.
Okay. I'm going to take Kentucky as well. I'm going to say by 3. I think a field goal can probably do it for them. Ole Miss is weird. I like their quarterback. I like their offense, and it's Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin wants to whoop butt in the SEC. He wants to prove something. I think it hits the over too, but I think Kentucky pulls this one out. Will Levis might be the number 1 quarterback. Maybe, scratch that. I don't think he will be the number 1 quarterback. He'll be probably like the 3rd quarterback because Bryce Young's nuts. And speaking of Bryce Young and the Bama Crimson Tide, the number 2 Bama Crimson Tide are taking on the number 20 Arkansas Razorbacks. Bama full 17.5 point favorites right now, and the over-under is sitting at 61 on the dot. Drew, Bama, Arkansas, who are you picking on this one, man?
I'm going to take Alabama. I think it's much closer than the 17.5. I'm going to take, because Arkansas's defense looks like they can
get after it.
They could get after it.
Yeah.
So they can cause Alabama some problems.
Absolutely.
A la Texas game. So
don't remind me.
I'm going to take Bama by, I'll take them by 10. And I'm gonna go under.
Okay, I'll take Bama by a touchdown. I like Arkansas's offense. I think they can hang with Bama, so I'll take Bama at least by a touchdown. Arkansas might even come for the upset. They've come very close to sometimes pulling these off, and this is a team that does not want to back down. They've got a really good team. I'm gonna say it hits the under though here too. I don't think there's gonna be a lot of points scored in this one. Seems like Bama, when they get tested, they don't really score a lot of points. So I think this is gonna be one of those games. All right, next, we've got number 22, Wake Forest, taking on number 23, Florida State. This is Florida State being favored in this one by 7. The over-under's at 65. Drew, who are you picking on this one?
Wake played a hell of a game against Clemson, put up 45 points, looking pretty damn good while they were doing it. Sam Hartman had
6 touchdowns.
I'm going to take Wake Forest here for they're going to be mad.
Okay.
They're going to be pissed off that they lost. They're going to be ready to take it out on Florida State here, and I think that's what they're going to do. I'm going to say Wake by 10, and I'll take the over.
Okay. I'm also taking Wake. I'm taking Wake by 14, 2 touchdowns. I don't really think this Florida State team is all that good. I think they've got some lucky breaks, especially in week 1. And I think this hits the over. Wake Forest offense is just too high-powered. Sam Hartman, I think, is a real deal quarterback. I'm not saying he's going to be a first-round pick, but that dude can throw the football. He had like 50 touchdowns last year, and he came off an illness this year and threw 3 touchdowns in his first game. Give him some credit. Next, we've got Texas A&M 17 taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Mississippi State is favored by 4 in this, even though they're not even ranked. The over-under at 45. Drew, how do you see this one going?
Even though every time I take Texas A&M, they always
Tell me about
slap
it.
me in the face.
Tell me about it, dude.
We'll take the hit this week.
Okay.
I'm gonna take Texas A&M.
Okay.
I'll take them by 6.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go under.
Okay. I'm actually going to take Mississippi State on this. It's Mike Leach, high-powered offense. That dude, Will Rogers, that plays quarterback is insane. And look, Mike Leach's teams throw for like 1 billion yards. Like, it's crazy. So I think they can beat this Texas A&M team. I'm going to say I think by 6. I'm going to give Mississippi State a big – I think A&M's due. They're due for a loss. They keep playing just good enough to win the games. And if they would have lost to Arkansas, if that field goal goes through, if they don't doink it off the top of it, that is the loss for them. Damn kicker. And I think this hits the over. I definitely, and it's just because I think they're going to, I think there's a good chance that they're going to score some points in this one. All right, and last but not least, this is the big matchup. It's number 10, NC State. They're taking on number 5, Clemson. Clemson favored by 6.5. The over-under's at 40, man. Who are you taking with this one?
That seems like a low.
I know.
Very low.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Clemson here. I think they're rolling right now. 51 points last week. I don't care who you're playing. That's a nice number.
Absolutely.
I'll take Clemson by 6. I think it still stays fairly close.
Yeah.
And I'm not going over.
Okay.
Taking over.
All right. I'm also taking Clemson. I got to try and keep this credibility thing rolling.
Naturally.
I like NC State. I like their quarterback, Leary. Could be a first-round draft pick. I just don't think they have enough firepower to keep with Clemson. Their defense, though, is really good, so they'll get after DJ. So I really think this could be a closer game. But I'll say Clemson by a full touchdown on this one. And I'll say it hits the over, but I'll say it just hits the over because I think NC State can still find a way to hang in with Clemson. But I think DJ will rule the day because I need him to at this point. So, and that's going to do it for the picks here, ladies and gentlemen, and that's going to do it for our show. So again, if you guys do, by the way, disclaimer, if you guys are betting on these games based upon what we're saying here,
bad idea.
Please do not blame us if you lose money or anything like that.
We're not actually betting on these, on our opinions here. This is like, I just think this is what the score is going to be
exactly.
and like where this game's going to go.
Yes. I mean, if you want to if you lose money, that's on you. If you win money though, send us some our way. Drew, of course, as always, thank you so much for being here.
Always fun.
Let the people know where they can find you, see all that good stuff.
Right here on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and on Instagram at ddacwill25 and Facebook at Drew Gwillem.
There you guys go. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at @TheFluffyGuru. Find me on Instagram at BoomCrewCaptain. Make sure to check us out at the Facebook page, XBomb Sports. You can check us out at the YouTube site, XBomb Sports. We're at XBomb Sports on Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, any emails or anything like that, xbsportsofficial@gmail.com. Check out all the podcast stuff, Blow the Whistle, The Parlay, Fake Football Guys, Money Motivation with Hannah B, Baseball Banter with Brandon, all that good stuff, guys. We got to get out of here. We got to go watch football. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. And, as always, much love. Peace out, Boom Crew.